If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure and punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the live. And be sure to help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at $ 2 cents boxing or hitting the heart with the $ and leaving a special thanks below and just letting me know you support the content. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jake, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Terence T-Bug Crawford. Is he the best ever? And today we will have a call-in show where you can call in and give Terence Bud Crawford his flowers. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video today. Listen, you can call in at 281-845-2103 anytime throughout the show so you can give Terence Bud Crawford his flowers or simply just give your 2 cents about the fight. Shout out to everybody that got the fight right, that got the right pick. But let me just preface this live with saying, you're not about to come in my live today and be disrespectful because Terence Crawford won a fight. You definitely entitled to your own opinion, but the name calling and the disrespect and any of that shit, I'm timing you out my chat today. Yeah, I'm timing your ass out today. So just keep it boxing and keep it respectful, and we gonna keep it moving. Shout out to everybody that was on with the watch party last night on the live. Shout out to everybody that hit. Man, I know they robbed Vegas last night. But shout out to Terence Crawford, who put on a good performance. You know, I got my critiques and criticisms, but I'm not even going to go there today. I'm going to let everybody, you know, feel however they feel about the fight and have their 2 cents about the fight. But Terence Crawford did a good job. I'm hearing people saying he shut out Canelo. I don't think he shut out Canelo. I gave Canelo 4 or 5 rounds of the fight. I checked the punch stat numbers. I want to find the punch stat numbers. I seen them, but then I tried to look them up again so I could show them on the show, but I couldn't find them. Again, Terence Crawford looked good in the fight. They had the great game plan. He executed the game plan very well. But on the flip side of that, Canelo Alvarez looked like trash in that fight. He looked absolutely horrible in that fight, and supposedly he's supposed to have another fight or 2 left with Turkey. I'm curious who he gonna fight. I think it's time for Canelo to sit down, hang it up. Like, you're not undisputed no more. You lost your belts. You lost to the best fighter of this era, the best fighter on the planet, Terence T-Bud Crawford, a man that can walk on water. Congratulations, 3 times undisputed, the first man to ever do it in the 4-belt era. Congratulations. Now, don't come running in my chat asking me, do I think he the best ever? Do I think that? No, listen, I feel the same way about Terence Crawford now as I did before the fight. However, congratulations to him. He had a good performance. That don't mean I can't congratulate him or acknowledge that he had a decent performance against Canelo. I had no problem doing that. But is he in my top 5? No. Is he in my top 10? No. No, he's not. But definitely call in at 281-845-2103. Let's watch this video. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but somebody playing some music real loud. It wasn't close. If it was, they would have gave it to Canelo. Maybe it's just Bud that makes them look like trash. Well, Marlo, you can say that, but Canelo did look like trash in the fight before Bud also. He did look terrible in that fight too. So, I mean, I'm just saying. It's not like he had an excellent performance against Skull and then he came in this fight and just looked like trash. So he didn't look good in his performance before that. And even before the fight, everybody was acknowledging how bad he looked against Skull, how he been on the decline. Like this, but this was Bud fans was telling me this when I was like, I think Canelo could beat him. That's what the Bud fans was telling me. So I'm not saying that the Bud fans were saying that. What was I about to show y'all? Oh, about the fight. I watched this video with Sean Zattel, and he was talking about the fight and the energy. I had some people there live on the ground. It was a lot of people there in the stadium. Honestly, I don't think it was sold out. I did see empty seats, especially when they were showing it like on the TV. But let's watch Sean's video. And guys, just because people picked against Bud Crawford and thought that Canelo would beat him for whatever reason, where it was the weight classes, the power, and this and that, and they got the pick wrong, that don't mean that they don't know anything about boxing. Like, y'all got to stop that. Just because somebody get a pick wrong, and all of a sudden they don't, because you get a pick right, and all of a sudden you know everything about boxing and nobody else know anything about boxing. Y'all got to stop that. Fight could have went either way. Nobody knew. You going up weight classes, you doing this, you doing that. I mean, people had their picks. Let people have their own opinion, y'all. And if you're right, stop going around crying and attacking people. It's just outrageous. Like, grow up.
Man, Sean Zattel here live from Allegiant Stadium as Terence Crawford just proved me wrong, proved a lot of people wrong, and cements himself as one of the all-time greats, S-tier, top tier. Gets to, as my man Sam Gordon just texted.
I would agree with that, but go ahead, Sean.
From San Francisco Chronicle, gets to sit at any table. And coming into this fight, you know, I had Crawford #1 pound for pound back in 2017. I always acknowledged him as the best counterpuncher in the game, one of the great counterpunchers. But I didn't see him as Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. I didn't see him as that. I saw him as the tier of greats right below that. Oscar, Shane, Mike McCallum, guys like that. And it turns out, no, he's with the best of the best. Let's talk about the great fight he fought tonight. Canelo came out as he always does, starts well.
And then when I in the beginning of the fight, but I wanted to. He said something about the crowd. That's what I want to hear him talk about, because we're gonna talk about the fight.
With meh energy, and they're waiting for them. Sometimes I noticed back in July, they bought tickets and show up, but it's just a great job by Terence Crawford. As for the other things, though, the crowd was dead tonight, and Mexican fans should be disappointed in their support for Canelo a little bit. Yeah, they bought tickets and show up, but they didn't do what Manny Pacquiao's fans did for Pacquiao back in July, when that fan base showed up to the arena early. And sometimes I notice these big fan bases, sometimes they show up to the fight kind of with meh energy, and they're waiting for their fighter to give them something to cheer about. But I notice the best crowds, they show up ready to help will their guy. They bring that home court advantage right away. And after the weigh-in, I thought, oh my God, even though I went to Dana and
Ramon, who said this? Who said it's the fans' fault Canelo lost? Who said that? Nobody said that. He's speaking of the atmosphere of the crowd. Like, y'all got to stop trying to be a victim all the time. He said the energy was low. He said nothing about winning or losing.
Everything. This TKO card had crazy energy at the weigh-in. It was pretty dead throughout the night, man. It was dead quiet when Canelo made his ring walk, just like when he lost to Bivol in the T-Mobile. It was dead quiet except for a few spots in the Mobili Martinez fight for the entire undercard. And I guess everyone's lighting up the pacing of the show after Dana talked about how bad boxing paces everything, and then this was worse paced than some badly paced boxing shows. But back to Canelo. This ain't good, man. You are the guy who is a 4-division champion and a great fighter and all that, but you're the guy who ducked David Benavidez and refused to give him.
Before I let Sean continue, I'm going to ask y'all a question, right? Everybody put flowers in the chat for Terence Crawford. Put a flower emoji in the chat. We all giving Terence Crawford his flowers. Okay, that's enough of that. Now we're moving on. So, what do y'all think that this fight does for Canelo's quote-unquote legacy? Now I'm hearing, see, he wasn't nothing. Like, of course, everything Canelo's ever done is now being discredited because he lost to Terence Crawford, which, if Terence Crawford is who y'all say he is, anybody losing to Terence Crawford, like, it should mean what? Like, he's the best fighter on the planet. He can walk on water. Nobody can beat him. So how can Canelo losing to Terence Crawford tarnish his legacy? I'm just curious. People, 2 cents and their thoughts about that.
A shot so that you could sell out to Saudi and lose to a former lightweight, really lose to a welterweight. So I like Canelo, always thought he's a great fighter, but this is a big hit for him and his fan base. And even though he's probably walking home with $150 million, I bet he's not going to be feeling too good tomorrow, even with all that money. So money isn't everything. If Canelo would have just done the right thing.
Now, if you ask me, thank Father say, you don't sound like a satisfied fan, LOL. Like, I don't know what y'all be talking about. I didn't really care who won this fight, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not necessarily just crazy about neither one of them, so I don't feel no type of way about who won. So I think once Canelo went with Turkey and then he fought Skull overseas, and I was like, Turkey made Canelo disappear. Like, nobody was talking about him. Nobody was worried about his fight. I think at that moment, he lost his fan base. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he really kind of lost his fan base because they probably felt slighted in some type of way. So now you come to this fight. You didn't look good your last fight. You fighting another smaller fighter. And it just, you know what I'm saying? People just, they sick of Canelo. And then now you finally got beat up. So everybody like, cool, just going on. I don't even know if Canelo going to retire or keep fighting. I think Canelo should retire. at this point. You would have been better off just fighting Benavidez, in my opinion, or a Bivol
He could
rematch.
have fought in Allegiant Stadium tonight or the last 2 years against Benavidez and wouldn't have even needed to get overpaid by some government fund of another country. He could just killed what he eat and then pass the torch to the younger guy, David Benavidez. No, he doesn't want to do that. Decides to fight Crawford, and Crawford beats him. And that's his karma. For Crawford, I know Turkey doesn't want him to retire, but I don't know. I guess there's a few rumblings of a Mayweather fight for some reason on social media. I don't know. But hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm probably not even really the guy to listen to on this.
All right. Shout out Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the super chat. It says EJ fans are hating tough this morning. Bud is that ninja. Let the Bud fans talk their ish. Don't hate like the Tanker Maniacs after Shakur won. Shout out Big Dog Willie. When I don't know like what you talking about, but if you've seen the title of my show, it says give Terence Crawford his flowers. This is the call-in show. You're more than likely to call in and Johnson bounce all you want to on the show today. 281-845-2103. Call in, give Bud his flowers. What you like about the fight, what you didn't like about the fight. Feel free. Dank Father, D-Town Funk, all y'all call in. All the people in the chat saying everybody else hating. Well, why don't y'all call in and congratulate since everybody else is hating? 281-845-2103. Call in and give your 2 cents. Now, Canelo, a 4-division champion, has lost to Terence T-Bud Crawford, who is coming from the lightweight division. Now, I felt like in the beginning of the fight, you could see that, Canelo had a lot of energy, and I felt like Canelo was able to cut the distance and get in there. But it seemed like Canelo was in range, but he just wasn't throwing no punches. So I don't know if he didn't want to get countered with something he didn't see coming, or if Crawford was really just punching like that. But I don't know. He just didn't do it. And then I know Bud said, I remember Bomac was saying after round 6, his power not going to be there and he going to be tired. He not going to be moving that much. And after round 6, you can kind of see that's when Bud turned it up. But, I mean, I looked at the punch stat numbers, and it was saying that Canelo did outland Bud most of the rounds. Because I gave Canelo like 4 rounds, 5 rounds at the most. And everybody in the chat was like, oh, Bud won that round, And it's like, Bud had moments where he would like get in and throw some combos and then get out. But Bud was really moving around majority of the rounds. He was like running around majority of the rounds. I think in round 9 is when he like really kind of just stepped to him like that. But then it looked like Canelo just kind of gave up, especially like in the later rounds, like 11 and 12. Canelo was just kind of defeating there like, shit, ain't nothing I could do. I wasn't expecting Bud to move all 12 rounds like that, but Bud had great movement the whole fight. So it is what it is. He didn't tire out. He was able to take Canelo's power, which to me, Canelo got Bud with some shots. And if y'all seen, Canelo kept going to Crawford's body. And I kept saying, if Crawford keep getting hit to the body like that, he not going to keep moving around like that all fight. And eventually he going to end up standing in front of Canelo. I just knew Canelo was going to catch him with someone he was trying to exchange with him in the inside. But Bud punch resistance was on 1,000. Bud said he ain't even hit hard. Bud said he don't even hit hard now. Everybody Canelo done fought say he hit hard except for Bud. So Bud must got like super pop punch resistance because he don't think nobody hit hard apparently. So super Bud. Bud was turning and turning Canelo, never letting him set his feet. But this is what I'm saying, right? I tell the Bud buddies they can call in and give Bud his flowers. But not everybody want to call in. But then they cry in the comments about nobody giving Bud his flowers. This is what be weird about Bud fans. I don't be understanding it. 281-845-2103. Who's gonna be the first person to call in to give Bud his flowers? Where y'all at? So, I mean, I guess that was the biggest factor. Everybody was like, if Bud can take Canelo's power, then he might have a chance. I mean, Bud didn't even break a sweat during the fight. Did y'all see that? He ain't break a sweat. He wasn't breathing hard. Nothing. Nothing. Shout out to Bud. Play this one time for y'all. So now we've graduated to the conversation, and we can have this conversation. Is Bud TBE? Is Bud the best ever? What's your 2 cents? What you got? Is Bud the best ever? Now, a lot of people said if Bud beat Canelo, he would be top 5 Mount Rushmore of boxing if he beat Canelo. Top 5 Mount Rushmore of boxing. Put a 1 in the chat if that's where you placing Bud. Top 5 Mount Rushmore of boxing. Come on, Bud Weezy. I found out that's some type of collaboration or company maybe that sponsored Bud called Nobody Sausage. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what they do or like what their mission is, but they use those type of characters or whatever. So that's kind of where they came from. So I think it's funny though. So I'm always going to use it as a drop in my videos. So everybody's saying no. Hold on. The Bud Buddies must not be here yet. Thank Father, is Terence Bud Crawford on the Mount Rushmore of boxing? Miss Barbara D say no. Dory say no way. Big Dog Willie say no. He say the best from 2015 to 2025. So the best of a decade, the best of an era. Dory say no. AJ say bull full of shit. Shawnee D say no. Say the snack product. We ain't talking about snack. A 2. So you think he from Mount Rushmore, Randall? Now this is where we gonna go with it, right? I'm being objective today, okay? I'm being objective, but if the Bud Buddies come in here bothering me, I'm gonna have to go there. But today I'm being objective. So if you want to base your placing on accolades, if you want to say he 3-time undisputed, he's a first man to ever do it, and then he jumped up 2 weight classes to beat the undisputed champion at 168. He got all these accolades, and that is how you're judging and basing your criteria. Cool, I ain't got no problem with it. That is fine. Boxing is subjective. You feel what I'm saying? So if that's how you basing your criteria, I could see that. I could see how you saying that. Now, I don't base my criteria just off of your accolades, because when I think of the fighters I like that I feel is the best of all times, when I think of those fighters, I don't think of what accolades they had. But that's just me. You feel what I'm saying? That's me. That's like my 2 cents. I don't think of what accolades they had. So that's my 2 cents. Like, if you want to say he top 5, top 10, because to me it's like, how can you get such a huge status because you beat Canelo? You feel what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, he beat this person, this person, this person, this person, and if he beat this person, he gonna be considered the best of all times. But y'all just like, oh, he beat this person, best of all times. Oh, because he 2 times, he got the accolades, the accolades, the accolades, but it's like never talked about like who he beat. You know what I'm saying? It's never like, oh, he beat this person. And that's cool. If you just want to base it off the accolades, that's cool. But if we're going to go base off accolades and appreciate fighters and up their status because of accolades, we got to keep the same energy all across the board when it comes to the fighters and their accolades. You can't start jumping through hoops and say, oh, but he got a gift decision. Oh, but he hoop jump, hoop jump, hoop jump. Oh, but he hoop jump, hoop jump, hoop jump. Because when people start jumping the hoops with your favorite fighter, with Terence Crawford, then y'all start crying. They hating. They hate Bud. We crying. Y'all should just love Bud. Y'all should, like, no. Y'all hoop jump about everybody else. But as soon as you want to come to Bud, and it's like, okay, cool, you can have your opinion. But I think because of blah, 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 like, it's cool he undisputed, but I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if he would have ran through the division and beat all of the champions and then got undisputed versus sitting back and letting somebody else go through the division and get all the hard fights and get all the damage, and then you come in and Super Bowl of belts in one fight, then it'll be a little different. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my 2 cents, though. That's my 2 cents. Some people may feel like it don't matter how you got them, you just got them. So you get all of the credit, and that's cool. That's cool. And dang father, having a legit win is different than having wins on your resume that's going to make you one of the greatest of all times. And I'm going to be honest with you, dang father, I don't think none of these fighters in this era can be greatest of all time, because I just feel like the competition level is not there. And that may be the reason why they're going based off the accolades now. You see what I'm saying? And that may be the reason they're going based off the accolades now. And that's cool. You can do that. But don't get mad at me, because that's not my criteria and that's not how I feel it should be. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, if you ain't got the competition to fight right now to qualify you as that status, then what's the next best thing? I guess it would be the accolades. You feel? That's the next best thing. So if you feel like that, I'm not saying I agree with you, but I'm not saying I don't understand why you feel that way. That's all I'm saying. So don't come on here acting like you don't understand why I feel the way I feel. You see how I just did that? You see how I just did that? And that's the whole point of coming over here. Everybody entitled to their own 2 cents. But not one person has called in to give Terence Bud Crawford his flowers. 281-845-2103. Let me know if y'all trying to call in and it's not working. Or somebody call in, let me get a test run. Let me make sure the phone line's working. Oh, Too Rich say he called? Let me see then. Hold on, because it didn't ring. Hold on, Too Rich. Let me redo it. All right, Too Rich, try to call back. Miss Joette say 2 cents. Maybe if Bud fought every single one of those belts. 3. Oh, here we go. Hello? Too Rich, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear Too Rich. What's up, Too Rich? You gonna give Bud his flowers? What you got for the show?
Yeah, man, I give Bud his flowers, man. You know, I'm a Bud supporter. I picked him to beat this fight or win this fight. But you know what? It wasn't like a fanboy prediction, I think, when it comes to Bud. like me, okay, if you get a chance to check out the video I did right before the fight, it's really just a short, but about 2 minutes long. And what I broke down that fight is to say two things. First, it was Canelo's high guard. I said,
Call from.
Hey, 2 Cent, what up?
hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I broke down Canelo's high guard, right? Now we saw him drop Belanga out of that high guard, whatever. But with B-Ball, we saw B-Ball was able to take advantage of that high guard. And what I put in the video, what I noticed was that Canelo doesn't swing back while you're punching. So I said, now Crawford's gonna be able to take advantage of this. And I showed clips of him facing David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, when Jose Benavidez had the high guard and how I was talking about how when he fought Jose Benavidez with that, Jose Benavidez had that high guard, how Terence Crawford were able to get off multiple shot combos, 4 and 5 shot combos. I said, if he had just a few sequences like that, around with Canelo, he's going to be up on the scorecard. So at least he'll always be in the fight just from combination punching with Canelo throwing 1 or 2 hard punches at a time. So I said, the fight is going to remain close based on that. The second thing I broke down was the time and Crawford's time. And I used examples of he don't need a lot of arm length on his shots. He catch you with these short counters. You gotta understand, when you don't expect that shot to come, that's a hard shot. So what happens is Canelo get caught with these short counters, and it changes the way he fights. He's not fighting the same because he don't want to get caught with that short counter. Even though the audience might not see it, Canelo sees it. He felt it. He understands. So now he has to change the way he come in. So that's why you saw him fighting a little different, eating them counters, man. Like I said, I'm gonna do another video. None of the fights over with to match it up with what I did before, but that was basically the reason. It was Crawford's combination punching and just his timing to catch you with short shots. He was rocking Canelo. If you look, he rocked Canelo with that left hand counter, and Canelo got head swung around. Canelo looked back like, what the fuck just hit me? Where did we see that before? Didn't we see that when Lamont Roach countered Gervonta Tank Davis? And Gervonta Tank Davis looked like, damn, what just hit me? That's the effect of a perfectly placed counter, because you use the opponent momentum against them. So I didn't see no way that Canelo would win other than power. Now, when it came to the power, I'm gonna land my plane here. When it came to the power thing, I said everybody talk about the Madrimov fight that Crawford didn't look good, which I think if you look at it from a combination punching versus single punch, it wasn't close. But I said we saw Madrimov hit Crawford with 4 straight right hands. Why didn't he hurt Crawford? Nobody can answer that. I said, well, it's simple. Long as Crawford sees the shots coming, he keeps them in front of him, he sees them coming, he can brace for the shot. So he's not going to really get hurt. You see what I mean? As long as he sees it coming. Now, when Tank catches that uppercut, them guys don't see that uppercut. When Canelo was scoring his knockdowns with those uppercuts, the guy don't see those uppercuts. So it hurts him. But as long as Crawford was seeing the shots, it really wasn't hurting. And I'm going to land it right here. Devin Haney said something that was very smart before the fight. They asked him about the power 168. He said Crawford is going to be able to take the shot better because he's not drained. He said when he's fighting somebody like Gamboa, he's drained. You see what I mean? Like he can't take the shot as good because he's drained. But now that he's coming in without draining himself, he should be able to take the power just fine. And that's pretty much what we saw. So if you take the power away, how could Canelo win the fight? He couldn't outbox Crawford. So, I think that's basically just what we saw. And one last thing, that's a psychological thing. Crawford was the bigger fighter in that ring. And once again, I say, where do we see that recently? Lamont Roach was the bigger fighter in the ring against Tank. So we'll start to see sometime when fighters are a little bit stressed, a little bit pressed, or a little bit more pressure on, weight loss is example of stress. When people stress, they lose weight. You see what I mean? So I noticed things like that. Canelo came in smaller, seemed like he rehydrated well, but when they got in the ring, Bud was bigger. So with all that said, it was a good fight. It was a good win. Canelo was a really good fighter, but that's Bud, man. He's special.
All right. That's all you got for the show?
Oh, and one last thing I was telling Jared Queen on her show that a lot of people don't look at. Now, you know me, I always tell you I don't do opinions. I'm not an opinionated guy. I just kind of like break shit down. I like to look at facts, right? So one of the facts I was saying, I said Canelo in all the biggest fights where the odds were against him are basically even. Floyd Mayweather, Golovkin won, and Bivol, which was the widest at -400, but that was close for a Canelo fight. I said in all those fights, he didn't win none of those fights. His biggest fights, he did not win. He got a draw against Golovkin, but he did not win any of his biggest fights. I said Terence Crawford on the biggest stage, he shows up the biggest. And sometimes you got to look at that. I say if you want Terence Crawford to lose, you got to teach him how to lose. He doesn't know how to lose. So to the guy that could teach him that, you know, kudos to him. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Shout out Rich calling in to the show. His 2 cents. Call in to give Bud his flowers. 281-845-2103. I want to hear nobody crying about nobody gave Bud his flowers. I'm having a whole show dedicated to folks calling in and giving Bud his flowers. So far, only one person called in. Mr. Shelton, you can call back. You said you called in. But like a lot of y'all told me, I should have listened. Y'all said Canelo looked trash his last fight. Canelo been on the decline. Tried to tell me I wasn't listening. Thought Canelo was gonna come in and do something. Canelo came in like straight trash. Mr. Shelton, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
What's up, sister? How you doing, home girl?
I'm good. What up?
Same old shit. Really ain't nothing too much to be excited over. I mean, we discussed this. What's the word I want to use? Ad nauseum. And I always told you how it was gonna go. The dude just ain't good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, look, what advantage did he have? He's a shorter guy, doesn't have the reach, doesn't have the footwork, doesn't have the athletic ability.
Well, you know what I think, Mr. Shelton? I think that the biggest shock, to people and what they're realizing is that Terence Crawford has always been bigger than what we've all thought. Like they were saying he was 180, slimming down to 135 and stuff to fight. So
right.
When you're unaware of that, of course you're gonna think this person's gonna be the bigger man. This person gonna be, and you're not saying it because you hate Bud. You look at Bud, his frame looks little. You wouldn't think he walks around at 180 pounds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's
and then I really just too, you think because he's up there knocking out guys that rehydrate to 200, 205, 190. It makes him seem like he's the bigger guy. Am I right?
Right. And then you realizing he was so weight drained at those smaller levels because he was shrinking down to get an advantage. That's why he was getting rocked.
Right. Like the Gambolas and all that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You see, that's the whole thing, right? That's what I was saying. The whole time I was like, why you guys keep saying this guy is the bigger guy? He's only 5'7" inches tall. It's only so big he's gonna get where he can move and actually be competitive. He's not gonna be the bigger guy because he's not that big. Canelo, what he really did, if you want to be honest, it's amazing that a little big guy could go up to 68, 75 and win fights. It's actually amazing. But
he wasn't a little big guy though.
He's a little bitty guy.
No, he's not. He walks around at 180 pounds. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He was never a little bitty guy. That was the trick. That's how they tricked it. That's how they tricked everybody. They made you think.
I'm a little bigger than that. So to me, he's a little guy. But I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So now you're telling me Bud should have been at what, 160, 154?
Bud should have been there this whole time. If you want to be honest, Bud is short. He's 5'8". But Bud should probably been fighting at 54 and 60 his whole career.
So you can't blame people for being like, well, Canelo gonna be bigger, and Canelo's been fighting.
No, I don't blame him.
No, because you was just in the other chat with me. It's some people that just feel like you pick Canelo, they can be disrespectful when they see you on the internet, as if there's no way in the world you should have ever thought that Canelo could beat Crawford.
Who said that?
That's how they act. That's how they was acting, Mr. Shelton.
Oh, you said that's how they were acting.
Yeah. That's how people
okay.
acting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how people are acting. Like they
Yeah.
believe that you thought Bud.
Yeah. They, well, some people, you got to understand that some people live vicariously through these dudes. I just, like to talk boxing and, I'll say what I see, but I don't live vicariously through none of them dudes. That dude just made 10, 20, or 50, whatever he made. He ain't sent me shit. I don't care what he got. I don't care who wins the fight. I'll make a pick, but in actuality, unless I got money on it, I don't care who wins.
So let me ask you a question. So does this diminish Canelo, or does this just show that he's diminished and it's just time for him to retire?
Well, I don't know how it diminishes your legacy if you lose to the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world who's been on the pound-for-pound list for the last 10 plus years. I don't know how that. Now, if he had lost to Lester Martinez, yes, that diminishes your legacy. He didn't lose to Lester Martinez. He lost to the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So that's not a bad loss, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm just hearing. I don't know. I'm hearing different things. So I'm just curious where you at.
Yeah. That's like when people was and I've done my fair share of shitting on Errol. When people shitting on Errol, like you act like Errol lost to a bum. He didn't lose to a bum. Lost to the #1 pound-for-pound guy. So I don't think it makes it less of anything. He just wasn't good enough on that night.
Okay. Well, shout out to Bud. So what do you think should be next for Bud, Mr. Shelton?
Retirement.
Just should hang it up.
Hang it up.
All great fighters should fight till they lose. All great fighters should fight till they lose.
Wait now. Unless now if you want him to fight Benavidez, it's $100 million on the table. Go get it. Fight that motherfucker. Hell, for $100 million, fight Open Time. Fight Joshua. It don't matter for $100 million. But if it ain't more than what you made last night, every fight from now on, if it ain't more than what you made last night, hang it up. Hang it up. I don't care who it is. If you want to pull boots up, got to be for more than what I made last night. If it ain't that, hang it up. You're 38 years old, bro. The only thing you ain't done in this business is lose. And if you hang around long enough, you will lose.
All great fighters fight until they lose, Mr. Shelton.
Not all of them. Andre Ward did.
Then are you great? Then are you great?
They say Floyd is an all-time great. He didn't fight till he lost.
Hey. To each
they say Kawasaki's an all-time great. He didn't fight till he lost.
Listen, I said great fighters fight till they lose. Just take that however you want it.
No, because Floyd never lost.
Are you a great fighter if you never lost then?
You just said great fighters fight until they lose.
Exactly.
You don't have to. That's not always the case. You don't have to. The Floyd's a great fighter. Kawasaki's a great fighter. Andre Ward's a great fighter. They didn't fight until they lost.
That's what I'm saying. If all great fighters fight until they lose and you didn't fight until you lost, are you a great fighter?
Yes. He's a great fighter. All those guys I named are great fighters. All those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Bud's hands already been cast before the Hall of Fame before he even got there. So, yeah, be smart. It's okay to go out on top. Elway went out on top. Those three guys I named went out on top. Ain't nothing wrong with going out on top, though. Like I said, 2 cents. If it ain't for more money that I made last night, if I'm Bud, I ain't doing it.
Well, then, yeah, let him go. Let him go on hot peach. Shit, 3-time undisputed. Let him ride off in the sunset then.
Yeah.
I don't think I mean, even his fans is like, shit, just retire. Like, nobody is even. Because what fight could he even make that make sense for real? Like you said, if it ain't for $100 million, then what? Because it's not even like you're going to be fighting somebody necessarily, for legacy and nothing like that. You literally just going to be fighting for 100 M. So.
Yeah. That's money you can't turn down. Only a fool turns that down. It's like offering to pay you $100 million to do anything. You're a fool if you turn it down. Now, and besides,
then why everybody so mad at Tank then? Why everybody so mad at Tank then? Turning down $100 million, you a fool if you turn it down. Why everybody so mad at Tank?
The people mad at Tank are the people who just don't like Tank. They don't care what Tank does.
Oh, okay.
Tank can cure cancer, and they still would hate on him because they don't like him.
Oh, okay.
You know, everybody's personality isn't likable to them. They don't like him. Me, like I told you, I don't care what Tank does because Tank told me what he was about in that interview. So after that, I don't care what he does. As a matter of fact, if he fights Jake Paul, I hope he fights Manny Pacquiao next because that's what I expect from him.
Okay. That's what's up. So you would like for Bud to retire?
Yeah, go out on top, leave it alone. I mean, because think about it. You watch boxing. Your sons are in boxing. You keep an eye on the sport. Who do you see coming down the pipe that's going to even come close to this record he set last night?
Oh, I don't think nobody is going to do that. I mean, it's not just Bud's skill that got him all that. It's a lot of things that also took place. It's being in the right place at the right time. It's the timing. It's choosing the opponent at the right moment. I mean, it's a lot of things that would have to fall into place for somebody else to replicate this. And it's, you know, of course his skill is a part of it, but it's a lot of other things that go into play too.
It's one thing you say all the time that pisses me off is because I don't have an answer for it. You know what that is?
What?
Bud was able to swoop in at the perfect time and snatch all the belts up in one fight.
In 3 different weight classes.
You can't argue with that. He did that. Yeah, it was timing. It was always timing.
So, I mean, it'll be really hard to duplicate that, I feel like, honestly. Unless they're priming somebody to do it, you know, like, you know, they're playing for them to do that, you know, like.
Right. Because, you know, like I know, once he retires or whatever happens to Bud, or probably the next month, these belts is going to get split up again, am I right?
So, I mean, he's not going to defend them, huh? He's just going to drop them?
No, why? Bud is 5'8" tall. You think, let's be honest, do you think, look at the guys that was fighting last night. Do you think Bud Crawford can beat Christian DeBilla? Because I don't.
Yeah, he could box him. He'll box circles around
Christian. I don't think so.
Yeah, inside
I think the dude is too big. What about Martinez, the other guy? I think the guy's too big.
Them guys they wasn't that good to me, honestly.
They wasn't good, but they were big.
But all they was doing was laying on each other, fighting on the inside. He could outbox them.
Well, maybe. Now let's say. Now they were talking about last night at the presser. Remember, they were talking about 175, right? Now you tell me, be honest. Who you see Bud beat at 75? Who?
I don't think Bud gonna beat nobody at 75 because he's gonna be even bigger and slower. Exactly. And he get hit with some shit up there. I don't know about that punch resistance like that. He's not gonna have all his advantages at 175 pounds. He barely had them at 68. Like he wasn't as fast as he was still faster than Canelo, but he wasn't as fast as he was at 47. And
no, he was faster than Canelo, but he wasn't as fast as he usually is.
So imagine how much he gonna be even slower at 75.
Right, and that was the biggest advantage for Canelo. If he was listening, he told on himself in one of the interviews. He went up to 68, and he took advantage of some big guys who were slower than him. He just had to punch him.
I just feel like Canelo was closing the distance in the beginning of the fight, but they was right. Canelo did fade in the later rounds, and he got frustrated.
No, they did. You've been watching him since Triple G. Since Triple G won, he always does. He fades in the second half of the fight because he loads everything up for one punch. Did you notice that? He loaded every shot up with everything he got.
I mean, I hear them talking about this Benavidez fight. I mean, theoretically, Bud should be able to outbox Benavidez.
No, but Benavidez is different because Benavidez don't throw one shot, 1, 2 shots, 1, 2, 3 shots. Benavidez throws.
But Benavidez ain't got no footwork like that, and Benavidez be square. So Bud should be able to use his footwork just like he did Canelo and outbox Benavidez. He should be able to.
No, Benavidez is too big because the shit that was affecting Canelo, making Canelo respect him and stand outside. Benavidez gonna walk right through that shit. He's too big. He's just too big. He's too big for Bud. That's why Canelo didn't fight him, because he's too big. He's too big. Can't hurt you.
But Canelo couldn't outbox him like Bud could. But I don't want to see Bud fight Benavidez anyway. I think that's ridiculous.
And he couldn't. And he said he couldn't keep. Canelo knows I can't keep Benavidez off me either. I can't keep him off me.
I got Canelo
no matter what
about 4 or 5 rounds in that fight.
Huh? You gave Canelo what?
Somebody said they got Canelo winning 2 rounds. I had him winning like 4 or 5 rounds of that fight.
I gave him 3 at the most. I gave him the first round, the 5th round, and maybe the 7th round when he gave him the headbutt. Other than that, he didn't win any round. He got a good old country ass whooping last night. That fight was not close.
No, it wasn't close.
But you saw the judges start to put their little sauce on it, didn't they? 115, 113.
Damn, I'm trying to find the punch stats. Somebody put the punch stats in the chat. Put the link in the chat.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. But hey, for this generation, when did Usyk turn pro? 2002.
I don't know.
Because Bud turned pro 2008. I think him and Usyk are in the same generation. Am I right?
Yep.
It's between Usyk and Bud for the fighter of this generation.
It's probably gonna be Usyk because he went up to the heavyweight division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just kind of hard to top
and
that.
He went from country to country beating the champions to get his belts.
And he beat them all twice.
You feel what I'm saying?
All the guys that they said was this guy. He beat them twice.
You see what I'm saying?
It's gonna be hard to top Usyk, but if anybody comes close, it's Crawford. I mean, 3 times undisputed, 3 different weight classes. Go from champion at 35 to champion at 68. That's Roberto Duran type shit.
Well,
but I still got Bud. They was talking. I heard you saying earlier. They were saying Bud is top 5? Is that what they said?
Yeah, top 5 all greatest all time.
No, I got the top 15, maybe. Top 15. My top 4, if you want to give the 4 greatest fighters I think ever lived for me, I say number 1 is Henry Armstrong. He defended the featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight titles at the same time. He held all 3 of them at the same time, defended them all. After him, you have to go Sugar Ray Robinson, over 200 fights. At one point, he went 120-0. I mean, come on now. 6 times. I think he was the welterweight champion 5 times. He's the middleweight champion. Then you got Muhammad Ali. I ain't got nothing to say. Muhammad Ali. Everybody knows what he did. And then the last guy on that Mount Rushmore, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd changed the game for everybody. His impact, who he fought and who he beat, yeah, he beat some guys. Floyd was the man. He did his thing. But his impact on the sport, as far as all the money being made, all these dudes getting these big paydays, now that's because of Floyd. So those are my 4 guys that, really had impact on the sport. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think about a Terence Crawford, Chris Eubanks fight?
Bad for Chris Eubanks.
You'd be interested in
Good
that?
for Crawford. Yeah, good for Crawford. They're gonna pay him like 60 M's or something. It gotta, like I said, it gotta be more than
$60 million to fight Chris Eubanks. That's insane.
It gotta be more than I made last night, or it ain't worth it to me. If I'm Crawford, that's me though. It gotta be more than I made last night, or it ain't worth it. For what?
Now,
because
you got your TV in the background. You got
Mr.
Shelton, your TV. I can hear your TV.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm watching the game. Go ahead. You turn it down. Go ahead.
All right. Y'all be sure to call in 281-845-2103. Everybody can call in to give Terence Crawford his flowers on his performance last night. All the Bud buddies that been trying to attack me in chats and crying. Where y'all at? Call in and Johnson bounce all y'all want to on today's show.
Yeah, what I was saying is, it's a boxing match, so anything can happen. He can lose. Not like Chris Eubank taking an unlucky shot. So, like I said, if it ain't for more than I made last night, it ain't worth it to me.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a good performance, man. I thought Canelo was gonna catch him on one of them exchanges. Canelo did hit him with some stuff though, and he was digging to his body. People acting like they ain't see Canelo throwing them liver shots with them hooks. He was getting, and I was like, if he keep hitting Crawford to the body like that, Crawford ain't gonna be moving. He eventually gonna be standing in front of Canelo, but he never stopped moving.
Right, you can take it, and that was my lead up from the first time me and you even spoke about it. I said if he can take Canelo's power, Canelo will be up. If he can't, I'll box the guy. His only chance is to knock him out. That's why Roy was saying. Everybody was laughing when Roy Jones was saying that, but Roy Jones was telling the truth. You got one guy who's way to win, and you got another guy who got 5 or 6 ways to win. I put my money on the guy with 5 or 6 ways to win.
They found what?
Roy Jones said you got one guy who has one way to win this fight, and you got another guy who has 5 or 6 ways to win this fight. I'll put my money on the guy who got 5 or 6 ways to win.
Okay. So that's cool. I don't know if we'll see. See, because the thing is, I think people want Bud to pass the torch. You know, that's the thing with quote unquote going out on top. People want you to pass the torch.
Right.
But he's not willing to pass the torch because he keeps saying he's not fighting Boots in it. So he's just gonna go fight.
Yeah, they asked me about that last night. He said nope. I wonder what kind of beef they got going on, people.
But you never know. You know, Bud always talking about he ain't fighting somebody and then he fight.
Yeah, he might get to do this. I say this. If I'm Boots Ennis, you know what I do? I take this fight. Who is he fighting in October?
Who is he fighting in October? Lima.
Yeah, ain't Boots fighting in October?
He fighting Lima in October.
Okay, I beat that guy. You're not gonna start collecting them belts at 54. If I can get in 3 fights in the next 9 months, maybe I can shoot up to 68 and get that belt.
Yeah, maybe. So what you think about this T.O. Shakur fight coming up? What's your 2 cents about that?
T.O. gonna beat the brakes, rotors. T.O. gonna get the brakes, rotors, and shoes beat off him. He's not good enough to fight Shakur.
Shakur gonna beat the brakes off T.O.
T.O.'s not good
Oh,
enough.
boxing, baby. I don't know about beat the brakes. Come on, Mr. Shelton.
T.O. can't lead the dance. T.O. needs somebody to come to him. T.O. he wants to counter punch. He can't attack. He can't fight off the front foot. Is what I'm saying. We've seen that multiple occasions. Anytime T.O. gets near with somebody who can box, he looks average or less than average. Shakur gonna box his ears off. He has no chance to win the fight.
Yeah.
His only chance to win that fight is to knock Shakur out. And you all know Shakur ain't gonna put himself in that position.
I think T.O. got the attributes to do it. I just don't know if he could put it together and pull them off.
He don't have the mental. He got the physical. He don't have the mental.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got the attributes to do it.
His mental is not strong enough to do it. That would mean he would have to stick to a game plan no matter what. And that's not T.O.
I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Is that a fight I'm excited about? I can't say that it is, but I'll watch it.
What's that? T.O. and Shakur?
Yeah, T.O. and Shakur.
It's a decent fight. I'm more interested in that Norman fight. That's the fight I really want to see. I want to see
if Devin the underdog,
is what they say that he is.
Is Devin underdog? I'm putting my bread on Devin for that Norman fight.
Really?
Yep.
All right. I didn't do too bad last night. I made 270. I put 200 on the plus 135 and made $70. So I do too.
Man, somebody told me they put 10 bands on a knockout. I know they sick today.
Really? I know they are.
I know they sick.
Did you hear what
You
Flip
put
the
that
Betty
shit on
though?
the money line if you think Bud gonna win. Don't put that shit on no knockout.
Did you hear what Flip the Betty though, 2 cents?
Who?
Somebody flew, they won't say who it was, but somebody flew in right before the fight and put $2 million on Bud to win.
Damn. Yeah,
They did that like 30
I know
minutes before the fight.
Vegas is mad at Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah.
Because they was like almost 70% of the bets was on Bud. So Vegas got robbed that night.
Because people who really bet and bet like large sums of money, they understood that every time this dude gets in there with somebody who can actually box, he loses. So I'm not messing with him on this one. I'm not messing with him on this one. Floyd was showing off his ticket today. Did you see it?
What he had? What he won?
Floyd put $50,000 on Bud for the win. He won $174,000.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Listen, everybody had put their money on Bud. They showed one of the famous streamers on YouTube, and he had $1 million on Canelo. Somebody called him and told him to change his bet.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Can I that dude's not gonna be Crawford? Yeah, one way to be crazy. Just lucky. Not Crawford. That's the only way he's going.
Well, they got a lot of money off Canelo too, because I know a lot of people was betting on Canelo. But I mean, that's the thing. It was a good fight. Like, it could have went either way. It wasn't like people was outrageous and thinking whatever they thought. It was what it was. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Because Canelo Bud could have easily went in there and not been able to take Canelo power. Like, they could have easily happened.
Yeah. That's why you only bet. That's why that's I know you know this too, so you can Texas. So you know this. The old saying is you only bet that you can afford to lose. If you can't afford to lose, you don't bet.
Now you know them boys was betting their mortgage on Bud.
You know what? And I heard somebody on Greg live last night said the same thing. He put his whole rent money on Bud and he won. He happy he can pay his rent now.
That's crazy work, man.
That's crazy work right there. Why would you bet your rent money?
That is so
fool are you?
You see how irresponsible these dudes get behind Bud?
You bet your rent money?
They bet the house on them. That's who they believed in. They literally bet the house on them.
But he came through for him though, so I can't be mad. I can't be upset. You know, he came through. He pulled him out the doldrums. He got me an extra $70, which I'm gonna go spend on these T-bones right now. Get ready for this 5 o'clock game. 2 cents. So we got for the next fight we got is the Thurman fight, correct?
Is that in October? Thurman Fundora?
Yeah, that's in October because I know that little boy fought tonight. The little dude, the Japanese dude, he fought tonight.
Man, I might have to put my money on Thurman getting stopped in this one.
Yeah, I think Fundora gonna beat him up pretty bad. I really do. I think Fundora gonna put hands. I think he's just too long.
I think he's gonna be too hard to figure out, and I think Thurman just ain't that guy no more, man. He just ain't the same.
But you know what? That's why they got to fight. Too, if you knew who was gonna win, they wouldn't have to fight, right?
Yeah, I feel you, but I'm just talking about it because I'm about to put my money on this stoppage because I think he's about to get stopped.
I think that might be good too. I think that might be good for you. I think you might win. And for Thurman, I think it might be good because that might push his ass into the booth where he belongs. He belongs in the booth. But he's a greedy sucker. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He see everybody get these bags and he won't go. And he believes that if he can, if he can win that belt, he can parlay that belt into a bag. That's what he's trying to do. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
All right, girl. I gotta get up out of here. But
All
thanks
right,
for taking my call. Oh, and you see Jab Queen, tell her to send me my $10. I need that.
Uh-oh. All right.
All right, later.
There'll be a lot of people ducking and dodging them bets. See, I don't bet nobody but the websites. I don't fool with the YouTube betting. I don't know if you're gonna pay me, and you don't know if I'm gonna pay you. So let me just bet with the websites because I know I'm gonna get my bread for the most part. But call in and give Bud his flowers, 281-845-2103. Panel is open. You can click the link. I'm not going to be on here too long today, so if nobody come up, I'm going to hop off. I actually got some errands and stuff I got to run. So what everybody doing? I guess they watching football. Let me take this off. Hello? 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 Whoever just called in, you're going to have to call back. I don't know what happened. Call back whoever just called in. I don't know what happened. We're going to see if they call back, y'all. Oh, there they go. There they go. Hold on, y'all.
Call from
Terence.
What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? Y'all post a one if y'all can hear the caller. Put a one in the chat. Caller, you there?
What up, 2 cents?
What up? What up? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
First of all, where's Sin at? I've seen this man. We might have to put him on a milk carton. Where's Sin? Where's the other one? Tony Reviews. First of all, that's the first thing, guys. If you guys are missing, we don't want to have to, put you on a milk carton, guys.
Tony Reviews came on last night.
I ain't see him.
Yeah,
I
he
was
came.
on.
He said he gave Bud one of the best, all-time great. He gave him his flowers and everything.
Okay, he admitted he was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't never remember Tony ever admitting he was wrong. But okay, I missed that. Well, hopefully I see him soon. Now I want to hear it for myself. But anyway, what's your Bud do next? As everyone's saying, is Bud's to fight again. It's got to be for $100 million. And if he ain't getting $100 million, I wouldn't fight again. You took the short money. Now you're the king. You gotta come with the long money if you want him to fight again. So that we'll see how badly Turkey wants him to fight again.
Why does he have to get $100 million though?
Because that's what Canelo got. He's the man now, right? Canelo got 150. He takes 100. And we can debate about that, but he's up there. What we've said, and I mean the Crawford fans that saw him a long time ago, we knew we saw a special fighter, not a normal fighter, someone that's a chameleon in the ring that can do so many things, that can adapt and change. Very, very hard to beat that guy. I mean, I don't care if you talk about Durant, Hearns, any of them fighting that guy right there is going to be difficult because he can adjust styles. He has power. I mean, and all of those guys, and this is the thing, you guys never listen to those all-time greats. Sugar Ray, what tells you how good he is, and Harris tells you how good these guys that you guys idolize tells you how good he is, but y'all don't want to listen because a lot of people don't like him. They told you before this happened with Canelo that he can almost hang with anybody in the ring. And I'll say this, could he beat Benavidez? No, but I guarantee Benavidez don't knock him out. I guarantee you that. I guarantee he finishes the fight. This is a special fighter, guys, and that's all we've been saying. And now that that's pretty much settled, I think all the Bud fans we've proven our point to say that this guy is one of the best. Now it's time for y'all to recognize our second best fighter, and that's Shakur. You see, when we analyze talent, we look at that skill set, and we're telling you Shakur is the real deal. And that's why he's going to punish and beat. Who's he fighting? This idiot. Whatever. And the only reason he's fighting Shakur right now is because he has nowhere else. He knows Turkey's not paying money for him to fight nobody else. So that's why he's fighting Shakur, because he has nowhere else to go. He burned all of his bridges. You know, ESPN, he does too. So now he's humbled. But now Shakur is going to humble him in the ring with an easy win. So that's all I say. I mean, we're going to toot our horn a little bit. Canelo, like I said with Spence, I had no issue. And a lot of the Bud fans, we had no issue with Spence, except for the fact that we thought, now I know y'all will disagree, but we thought that he didn't want to fight, that he didn't want to fight Crawford. And that was the only reason we were upset with him. Canelo, we have no problem with Canelo. We fought Bud, gave him the opportunity to show how great he is. So kudos to those guys, man. Appreciate y'all, man, for giving that man opportunity to prove the fans right what we already knew about Crawford, that how great he is. So he gave him a shot at it, and we appreciate that. And that's pretty much. We ain't gonna gloat about it. We just were right, and we like to see that. You're not gonna see a guy fight like that in the next probably your lifetime. So I mean, just appreciate you got to see that what a true great boxer is. And that's all I would say to y'all, man. And instead of hating, like Javante, which was just absolutely terrible for him to say what he said. I mean, okay, you got a problem with Bud. I understand y'all got a little problem. But to say that they riding him because he's beating the shit out of Canelo, that's just disgusting. But I don't know. I don't know any more to say about this. This guy's about to fight a freaking YouTuber, and he's talking about someone fighting somebody for money. Bro, who's fighting somebody just for money? Bud, the guy that's fighting Canelo, a Hall of Famer, or a guy fighting a YouTube dude? Because you know you're not getting any freaking no one's gonna put that on your list as anything but a money grab. Like, there's no legacy in fighting Jake Paul, and you didn't fight your rematch that you had a draw, and you have the audacity and nerve to say that about Bud. I mean, it's appalling. But that's all I gotta say. 2 cents. I mean, huh?
All right. Thank you for calling in Terence Best Videos. Shout out to Terence Best Videos. We got. All right. Thank you for calling in. Next, coming to the panel, Mr. Can I Talk? Can I Talk? Can I Talk? We got Rich on the panel.
Yeah. Man, I just want to say this because I don't think I got to told y'all this last night, but I went on another channel and told them this. And I said it in somebody's comments too, in the comments recently. I don't think Terence Crawford the best fighter ever. I don't, or in the top 5 as far as who he fought. But I do think that he's in the top 5 or top 3 pound for pound best fighters ever. Meaning that his skill set could carry to any weight class. Meaning that if you put his skills in Deontay Wilder body, he'll beat the shit out of every heavyweight that's walking right now on earth. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where we get shit a little confused at. I don't really feel like no one could beat that man when he in his zone, whatever weight class you in from one. I really think from 160 and down. I ain't gonna say 168, but from 160 and down, I don't think no one could beat him. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really think no one. And I feel like the ones from back in the day, I think they will probably give him some problems, but I don't think that they could beat him though. Besides Floyd, besides Sugar Ray or whatever, those where I be saying it's 50-50, but all that people keep throwing out Pacquiao, Tito Trinidad, and all these other guys, man. Crawford don't know how to lose. Them guys took losses before. You know?
All right. But you got some kind of music in the background, Rich. I'm gonna have to mute you.
I'm about you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, and then I heard Terence say something about Shakur. It's to Terence that's saying that, man, Shakur just gotta prove itself. These fighters gotta want to get in the ring with him. You know, it's always gonna be people that's gonna make up something and say Shakur ain't want to get in the ring with them, and Shakur ain't want to do this or something like that when he clearly want the fights. You get what I'm saying? And they not, and they gonna flip it around and try to make it seem like that. But I know that's a lot of things. It's a lot of shit going on when you associated with Terence Crawford and Andre Ward and Keyshawn Davis and them. When you associate with that, all lies come with it. It's just gonna be more lies. Keyshawn Davis gonna feel that. Yeah.
You breaking up, Rich?
You said what?
You was breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hold on. Yeah, and I see that people saying in the comments, like people don't understand that Pacquiao, if y'all want to go by accolades, Pacquiao, he moved up a lot of weight divisions, but he's not on Crawford level. If Crawford would beat him now, and Crawford would have beat him 15, 20 years ago. And Crawford
You
probably
don't know that though. You don't really know that.
Crawford would have knocked him out brutally. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Terence Crawford just beat the best fighter in the last past. The best fighter that been the best. He been the best fighter in the last past 15 years. Anybody at 147 that y'all said that Crawford was ducking or that he didn't fight, meaning the Boots, the Keith Thurmans, the Danny Garcias, all them guys, Canelo made up for that shit. Canelo was better than, and this without, and let me talk on this one. Canelo better than all of them. Canelo resume better than all of them. Canelo pound for pound skill set better than all of them. So that's how he made it up for it. And Crawford went up 2 weight classes to beat him. He challenged himself and did that. So he made up for all that shit. So I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Oh, he ain't signed a PBC. Them niggas all got losses on their records, and they losses is to Keith Thurman lost to a fucking old Manny Pacquiao. I can't say.
But Rich, that's not fair, Rich. You can't really do that, Rich. You can't really do that.
I'm just saying that. I'm saying that Canelo made up for it because Canelo been the best pound for pound fighter from 154 to 168 in the last 10 years, 15 years. He been so how I can't do it. He been the best pound for pound fighter. From what I was told from a lot of people that Canelo used to fighting bigger people. He dropping bigger people. He could take their punches and all that stuff. Well, he ain't do that to a nigga like Terence Crawford.
Yeah, you entitled to your own opinion, bro. You right. Go ahead.
And one thing I can say about Terence Crawford, you see, I seen the nigga Tony. I said it before, man. Tony sat there and ran his fucking mouth. A lot of people ran his mouth saying some shit about Mad Jamal. Oh, Mad Jamal didn't respect his power. So why the fuck Mad Jamal didn't just walk through Terence Crawford? Why the fuck Canelo couldn't just walk through Terence Crawford? Instead of them little ass side shots he throwing to his body and stuff like that. Cause he was afraid of that power. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be a knockout artist to knock out somebody and all that stuff to have power. That's the same thing with Shakur. Shakur, you could call him piddle-fisted and all types of shit. I have yet to see somebody walk through his punches. I have yet to see someone walk through his punches. I have yet to see someone that been in a fight with Shakur that ain't stumble or get hurt. I have yet. Every fight they got in the ring with got hurt.
When you're playing, Rich, I got somebody behind you. Then I'm opening it up.
Oh, yeah, but that's why I want to say every fight I've seen Shakur get in the ring with besides De Los Santos got hurt or got stumbled or got that and they respect his power. And if I'm lying, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm done, man.
Bubs Boxing say that's a lie. But shout out Big Dog Willie on the panel. Oh, wait, let me give you an intro. Next, coming to the stage.
I'm going to put it on mute.
The number one troll in these boxing YouTube streets, Big Dog Willie. What up, Big Dog?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hey, what's up?
After the show?
Oh, man, I just want to talk about the fight last night. Man, Crawford is that nigga. We had to give him his props, give him his flowers and some more flowers. He went up there and did the impossible. And where everybody said, even myself, say he couldn't beat that man. I thought it was the weight. I didn't think it was a skill. But I thought it was the weight and power. And it didn't. Then that skill prevailed on on a big way. In a big way. I don't really hate on the fighters like that. But one thing I will say is Canelo looked old last night. He was slow. He was slow last night, and that was, whew, boy. He looked. It just he don't have it no more, and I'm not saying Crawford's not good as he was before, but the boxing IQ, Crawford has better boxing IQ than Canelo. Yeah, he figured him out way too quickly, way too soon. And Bomac, we have to put Bomac. Bomac is trainer of the year, and he's one of the best trainers in boxing by far now, if not the best.
Man, Bomac had 3 fighters lose on that card. Cut it out.
Oh, come on, man. We're talking about the real fighters.
Steven Nelson fucked up my parlay.
He did fuck it up. No. Bomac is up there. I'm not going. Nah. When he has special fighters out there, he's up there. So we got to give him his flowers too. But yeah, Canelo.
Yeah, they had a really good game plan.
Yeah, Canelo. Avery Nelson's overrated. I was gonna say that he's so overrated as a trainer. I mean, but yeah, Canelo looks like he needs to. You know what? Be honest with you, maybe it wasn't a good idea for him not to fight Benavidez.
But see, think about it. Think about what they were saying from Canelo from the Skull fight. They were talking about how terrible he looked, and then they've been saying he been on the decline the last 5 years. This is what I've been hearing Bud fans saying. He been on the decline for the last 5 years, and I'm like,
I want to say the last 5 years, but at least the last 2 years, he had some bullshit opponents. Well, you know what? I'm not going to take anything away from Canelo. Is 35 years old. He's been through 100,000 wars, and he's a great fighter. Put nothing wrong. He's a great fighter, and for Bud to beat him was a big accomplishment. And I'm not going to take away from him because Canelo is a good fighter. And been anybody else in that ring that came up from that weight I don't care who it is, EJ, Thurman, um, Charlo, number one. They they got beat up too.
Hey,
Crawford's that
Prime Earl would
nigga.
have fucked around and beat Prime Earl would have beat Canelo if he fought like that for real. In
Huh?
my opinion.
No, no.
A Prime Earl Spence.
You said Prime.
Yeah,
Well, I mean that was that what, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I'm just saying.
I
That
mean,
Canelo right there, that Canelo, he was trash. Come on now.
you can say he's trash, but I don't know. But Crawford
That
37.
might have been the worst performance I've ever seen from Canelo.
No, I wouldn't go that far. No, I wouldn't go that far. Not the
When
worst.
have you seen him
No,
look worse? When have you seen
no,
him look? Floyd.
no. I mean, Floyd just screwed him. He had no. He was 23. Floyd just screwed him. That was just. I mean, that he didn't. He just stand a chance. It didn't matter if Canelo was in his prime. He would never touch Floyd. So that's not even a question. But no, it's just he got beat at his own game. That would look like, and so the countering that Terence were doing, he beat him at his own game, and it's a boxing IQ thing. Canelo's slow. He's not that fast, and I think he slowed down. And he was getting blasted too.
Yeah, he was.
He was catching those counters right against the chin.
He was
Canelo got
telegraphing
the chin,
punches like
huh?
Bud seen his punches coming.
Yeah, he's better. I can say he's just a better fighter. I mean, skill wise. I mean, Canelo's just bigger and stronger. But if you have more skills and you're strong and just as strong as he is, or you can take his punches, Canelo can be dealt with. That's why I said Benavidez. Like I said, if he would fight Benavidez, he would have got knocked out. Or at least got hit and knocked down to the ground. I can't see. Yeah. And the pity pat that Crawford was doing to his face, just kind of playing with him. I'm like, oh, come on, Canelo.
Shout out Teach and Mr. Moss on the panel.
You open the panel up?
Teach, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Crawford, man. I think Crawford right now kind of etched his, stone as one of the most, best boxing in this era for sure. Stepping in there with Canelo even before stepping in Canelo, like he's been proving himself, going from being undisputed in 140 to 147. And he pretty much shows that, he could dominate in every weight class that he went up to. I mean, his skill kind of went, beyond like his speed and the power that he showed last night. It's definitely his IQ. Like he showed that he could adapt in most situations. And he did this in the Canelo fight. Like he completely threw Canelo off rhythm. And this goes to show, man, like Bud is special because of his consistency. And he's been doing that for more than a decade.
I can't hear you no more, Teach. Okay, go ahead, Teach.
Yeah, and he's been doing that for more than a decade now, like not taking any shortcuts, like being a very clean fighter. And that's in quotes, being a very clean fighter, never smoked, never drank. Pretty much, I don't think he's on any type of steroids. And he finds a way to dominate these people. Again, like his win against, Errol, that's historical. His win against even Canelo yesterday, that's going to be a part of the history books too. And undisputed in 3 different weight class. So he definitely has accolades beyond, any other boxer that pretty much has fought in achievement. So we got to give him that respect. But man, he always carried himself as a professional. I guess a lot of people didn't like him because of his, business practices, I guess. But that shit never bothered me. You pretty much are worth whatever you negotiate. And he got paid in the Canelo fight. He got paid in the Spence fight. And that's what it is. Should Bud retire now? Bud hasn't said anything about retirement. So if he wants to fight, he should continue.
Hold on, Teach. Let me get this cash app. Shout out Ramon Sifu with the $5 in the super chat says appreciate your show. Shout out Ramon Seafood. All right, go ahead, T.
Yeah. So Bud hasn't talked about retirement yet, so he shouldn't retire until he wants to retire. So if he wants to continue, he should. And I think he should fight Tank next. Why not? Fight Tank.
All right. Mr. Moss, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, first, I always salute to 2 Cents Boxing. She has a great platform. I love the content, like always. And thanks for letting me come on here and just spew my shit. First and foremost, Canelo Alvarez ain't stronger than no goddamn Terence Crawford. So I think that was proven last night. So we can stop saying that. This fight just proved to me once again, a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. For me, it's just that simple, right? They try to highlight and stand on weight and size and say, could Terence take a punch? Where's the power at, Canelo? I didn't see no power last night. Right? I didn't see foot movement last night from Canelo. I saw a guy who threw the same punch over and over again, and the audacity to do that versus a high IQ fighter like a Terence Crawford. Like, is Canelo on drugs or something? Like, you think that you can get away with throwing the same right hand? And yeah, I mean, he tried to cut the ring off. He tried to bait Terence to Canelo went up against the ropes. And Terence was like, nah, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Terence Crawford beat that man at every aspect of boxing last night. However you want it, Terence gave it to you. Inside, outside, countering. He led, stood in the pocket, slipped, countered, brawled, everything. And so, again, like Shakur, Terence, Andre Ward, Antonio Tarver, like Timothy Bradley, they Jap Zuda. They told y'all, like, power don't win fights. And power just don't win fights. But where is this power stuff coming from? Again, bro, boxing is so corrupt, and I lose so much respect for the writers. Ellie Setbeck needs to be banned from boxing after the stunt he pulled last night in Las Vegas, Nevada. But these boxing writers and these media people who go on national platforms and spew nonsense and don't break down boxing the way you do, 2 Cent, that's why I appreciate you. Like, you should be on these major platforms making money like they are, but they lied to the public every single day. Nobody talked about Terence Crawford's IQ coming into this fight, right? Go listen to Teddy Atlas last night after the fight, right? He said, why are we not talking about counterpunching and Terence Crawford's defense? Bro, like, Terence Crawford has a chin. Everybody talked about Canelo Alvarez having an iron chin and blah, blah, blah. He got hurt a few times. Did he catch Crawford on some good right hands? Yeah. But I don't think Canelo landed just a flush, punch on him, clean the whole fight. And Terence took it well, right? I mean, the body shots were ineffective. Terence caught most of the shots on his elbows, right? He kept catching the overhand right with his right guard up the whole fight, right? And so, again, Terence told y'all, man, just, okay, y'all think he's big? Just wait and see. I mean, what? I mean, y'all think because Terence is taller, Terence got longer reach. Why didn't we not talk about, 2 Cents, the attributes of both fighters? Why did we just hone on size and weight? Like, that
No, we
doesn't win
absolutely
boxing
talked
matches.
about the attributes of both fighters,
I know.
but
I'm not saying you, 2 Cents. I mean,
no. I'm just saying though, but historically too, when you look at it, right?
yeah.
And well, I think the issue too that a lot of people not saying for real is when we looked at Bud and we seen that small frame, we had no
Yeah.
idea he was walking around at 180 pounds and shrinking himself down to those smaller weight classes, which is why he was getting rocked, because he was drained. We didn't know that, right? A lot of people didn't know that until Bomac pretty much just said it. So it's not like people just hate Bud and was saying this. No, people making decisions based off what they see. You looking at Bud, he got the small frame. He looked like the smaller guy. He coming from 135. Of course, people gonna think he the smaller guy. Why wouldn't you? Canelo been fighting at 168, fighting people that go up to 200 pounds, knocking them out. They saying he hit hard. Like, why wouldn't people be able to come to that conclusion? Also, it's not because they don't know shit about boxing.
Well, 2 Cents. I mean, Canelo ain't been knocking him out like that in years, and we all know that welterweight fighters and 147 pounders and 154 pounders typically they do walk around 175, 180. I mean, that's nothing to. I mean, we should know that, and so we know that the cut weight 20 or 30 pounds, and so I knew Terence walked around 175, 180. Not to mention Terence had. I
Fighting
heard
at
that
135?
No. I'm saying that it's not. It's very normal for welterweights who fight at 147.
He
to
says
be.
since he been fighting at 35, though, Mr. Moss. That's what I'm
I know,
telling
but
you.
35 has been. I'm talking about as of late. As of late, like the current fight. You know what I'm saying? Not years ago at 35,
Yeah,
but he
I'm
had
saying
shoulder.
that you've been shrinking down that small since 35. So once you get to 147, people thinking, okay, you starting to max out. Because we had no idea you started that big in the first place. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard you saying, and I guess let me just close with this last point because I know you got people on here. I just guess that if we didn't know that, or if writers didn't know that, then it's on. That's why I get on the boxing media 2 cents, is because those are questions that need to be asked, and those are questions that need to be asked and then disseminated out to the public so we can make what I'm saying educated boxing predictions based on certain things. Terrence had shoulder surgery too, I heard. Back in January. So, that's even another great thing because this man went under the knife. Nobody knew about it until recently. For me, last night, like this was news to me. But Terrence beat that man at every aspect of boxing last night. And last point, for Canelo Alvarez to be quote unquote the boogeyman and the king of boxing, and for him to say, they said, Canelo, what gave you issues last night with Terrence in the press conference after? He said everything. How can you be on that level, 2 cents, and you finish a fight, and then so you mean to tell me, Canelo, you can't make no adjustments, bro? Everything bothered you last night, bro? I mean, come on. Listen, this should be a day where we praise Terrence, but I think Canelo Alvarez needs to be ran through the goddamn mud. This man said everything bothered him, everything, and the way he was talked about, not by you guys on this platform, but just overall, like he was just a king of boxing, high IQ, versatile fire, power, everything, right? He said he was bothered by everything, bro, or 2 cents. That's a problem at that level. That's a problem. No adjustments, no nothing. Come on. What are we doing, man?
I mean, his game plan was horrible too. Like, I don't
agree
really
with
know
you,
what it was. Like, I mean, but I feel like he had that right hand hook all night, but he didn't want to throw it. I feel like he didn't want to throw it. Ton of reviews. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? Tony, you there?
Oh wait, my mic was muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
By the way, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good, and I'm doing good as well. Thanks for asking. I'm hearing a whole bunch of BS. The fact of the matter is, Crawford deserves all the roses that he can get. It doesn't matter. Even if Crawford was walking around 200 pounds on a day-to-day, it does not matter. It's irrelevant because everybody Canelo fights is walking around 200 pounds or more. All of them have longer reaches than him, and all of them are taller than him. So what his walk-around weight is really makes no difference come fight night because everybody that he fights is that big. So to me, that doesn't take away from his performance at all. Like it just doesn't. Number two, yes, when you are the elite of the elite, you can make elite fighters not look elite. And Bud just concreted, cemented how good he actually is. Because when you're in your hardest fights, you make it look easy. And that's what he's done every single time he's been in the biggest fights. He's came top peak condition, whether it's the way that he beat Earl Spence or the way that he just dismantled Canelo and had Canelo confused. I personally didn't think Crawford was going to trade in the pocket with him. He did. Not only did he trade in the pocket with him, but he beat him in every exchange. So, again, Crawford not only outboxed him, but he did things that most people didn't think he could do. And that's what made him so great. And the thing about it is this. You can't look at the end of the day, every single fighter has people that you could say they ducked. You could say Canelo ducked Andrade at 154, 160, or he ducked Benavidez at 168. That's cool. But we could say Mayweather ducked Paul Williams. We could say every fighter has somebody that we could say they ducked. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't Canelo's fault that Benavidez snorted coke, and it wasn't his fault that Benavidez came in fat and got stripped. That was on Benavidez. Benavidez also chose not to try to unify or collect other belts while Canelo was going through the division. So again, you can't hold that against Canelo. Everybody wants to say Canelo this, Canelo that, but what about Benavidez? Why did he make no attempts to get other belts to force Canelo to fight him? So again, when you look at Canelo, he went from champion to champion to champion, beat 3 champions to get the 4 belts because he got 2 against Callum Smith. The dude has beat everybody there was to beat outside of Benavidez at 168. Solidified number 1. Crawford went up 2 weight classes, which is so unheard of in boxing that now he's in a group of 0.0 as far as we could see 1% of fighters who could go up and beat the elite of the division. And that's what he did. So love him, hate him, like him, whatever. It doesn't matter. Bud did what he had to do. He proved that he is an all-time great, and he made it look easy. I mean, he beat Canelo easy. He walked out of this fight looking better than Bevel did when Bevel fought him. So if you want to say Canelo's over the hill, well then, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Canelo's over the hill. I just think Bud is just, I personally underrated him, and he proved how great he is. And I mean, he's up there with them. That's
Hey,
how I see it.
y'all put some flowers in the chat for Bud Crawford.
Yeah, that was well said.
He ain't, to me, I wouldn't say all-time great to me, but that's my 2 cents. But he definitely did a good job, and he definitely made Canelo look terrible. Well, Canelo made himself look terrible, actually, because why the fuck did you keep fighting these small-ass fighters? You'd have been better off getting beat by somebody in your weight class, but you insisted on pulling up these small fighters.
2 cents. Before I go, can I ask the gentleman who was just speaking a question?
Uh-huh.
What's your name, bro? Because what
Tony.
you said, Tony. You know, you put Terence on an elite level, which I agree with, and I think a lot of people put Canelo at the same level. Obviously, there's a difference in skill set. I mean, that's a different conversation. But do you find it disrespectful to the sport of boxing and offensive that a fighter on that level came into the post fight and says that he was confused and everything bothered him? And if that's the case, then as a guy on that level, aren't you supposed to make adjustments? Or
Mr. Moss, but that's the best fighter on the planet. He couldn't figure it out. That's how good Bud is. That's what you missing.
No. 2 cents. I'm not saying figure out everything. He said everything. He couldn't figure out nothing.
Yeah, but
because Bud is just that great.
You gotta understand.
I respect that. I respect that answer.
And I'm gonna answer pretty much like 2 cents said. The fact of the matter is this, and I keep saying the fact of the matter because it's just facts now. It's in history.
Right.
Can't unseen what was saw. Canelo couldn't figure anything out. Against several fighters, Canelo has figured them out, especially against slick fighters. Against Laura, he started to figure them out down the stretch. Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. I'm using them as examples because they're slick boxers. Even against Bevel, even though he was outboxed, he figured out how to cut off the ring, and that's why Bevel looked bruised from every part of his body, because Canelo found a way to get him in the ropes, get him in the corner, and beat him up. Against Crawford, he couldn't do nothing. There was nothing he could do, to the point of where Crawford was playing with him with little pity pats. And it's not to say that a great fighter can't adapt, but when you're in the face of somebody that much greater than you, there's nothing you can do. And that's just how it is. Like, there's nothing Canelo could have done. Will he take a rematch? I don't know. I think he should, but he may get beat up worse in a rematch.
Tony,
but my thing is this, to answer your question,
bro.
If you're against somebody that's that much better than you, it doesn't matter what you tried. Bud's just that much better than him.
Yeah, but I don't think he tried everything. And then secondly, he had Terence lined up a few times in the corner or even at range, and he wouldn't let his hands go. So I guess
he's scared to get countered. That's why.
Okay,
he didn't want to get countered.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you that. But with
that
being
hurt.
Said, did you see something other than that left in the corner that Terence landed, which was up until that point the best punch of the night. Did you see anything else that landed before that or after that made Canelo kind of hesitate?
Yes. I saw a lot. You got to understand, if you look at the punch stats for the first 5 to 6 rounds, Crawford was very lackluster. He was just boxing him. But after about the 7th round on is when he started to open up. And you got to understand, Canelo was looking for that counter. But it wasn't just the counters Bud was throwing. He was hitting them with combinations, like 4, 5, 6 before Canelo could even get one shot off.
Agreed.
So when you're getting your head hit 5, 6 times before you can even release, you're going to be hesitant to release. And that's what Crawford did to him. He had the fear of getting hit 5, 6 times before he could let one go. And he didn't take advantage of every opportunity because he was just getting beat up.
He was just getting beat up. Yeah, Tony, you had right in the part. He was just getting beat up. It just, remember when Floyd was fucking with him? He just couldn't do nothing about it.
Right.
He was just defeated. You see it in the late rounds, he was like, fuck it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, Terence came, what impressed me the most was that Terence, from the opening bell, kind of what Floyd did a little bit, he came right to the center of the ring and he stood his ground early and was like, this ain't what you thought it was, buddy. Yeah, let's go. And so Terence had some signature moments in the early part of the fight that set the tone, which I think we all agree with. But yeah, man, like you can't throw the same punches, and he wasn't throwing no combinations. And to your point, if I throw 3 punches, Terence gonna catch me in between and probably hurt me. The shot I don't see coming. I can't brace for it. So yeah, I mean, point well taken. I mean,
that's the super chat. Shout out Mark Q with the $1.99 in the super chat. He says the Butter Creamery is open for business. Shout out Mark Q.
You got to think too.
Hold on. Let me get one more. Shout out Boxing Hacker with the $5 in the super chat. He says 2 cents. Remember when I said that Crawford would play with Canelo during the later rounds, and you said I was talking trash? Hacker is a truth speaker. Shout out Boxing Hacker.
What they say, 2 cents. A broke clock is right twice a day. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we ain't trying to hear Boxing Hacker because he gets pretty strong. But I will say this. As far as that Mayweather comparison, yeah, Canelo had been having nightmares in there because Floyd came out to the Mexican music. You got Crawford coming out the Desperado in the same, like a Mexican outfit, just like Floyd did. Then he was sticking his tongue out like Floyd was doing to him, shaking his hips like Floyd was doing to him. The dude had been having nightmares in that ring.
Yeah, that sucked. I felt bad. Canelo. That's why I think, like, sorry to cut you off, Tony, but I think in the later rounds when how when he took that punch, he just like fuck, and he just kind of walked. He kind of looked like he kind of walked away, or he kind of looked disgusted. I think that was just building up on him, and I think he just looked like, I don't know, 2 cents kind of said earlier. He looked like he just didn't want to do it no more.
Yeah, Canelo looked like he gave up for real. I ain't gonna lie. He looked like he gave up. Like, I'm just ain't finna keep chasing you around. But did that ring look big as hell to y'all? Hello?
It's hard to tell on TV, 2 cents, the size of the ring. I mean,
man, that hole looks big. I felt like the ring that Charlo was in was smaller, right? Because it's like,
could it be that he caught? But could it be that he cornered and backed up Charlo more, so it may seem smaller?
No. You just
Charlo 2 cents. Charlo was struggling in that fight. He did not want to fight.
I'm talking about the ring size, y'all. I'm just saying the ring looked big.
Oh, the ring size. Oh, okay.
The ring looked huge last night. Shout out Mr. Greg on the panel. What's going on, Mr. Greg? How was the fight, Mr. Greg? How'd it go?
Well, we didn't. We were, I want to thank anybody who had called. We were in the hospital while we were out there. I went back home now.
Okay.
But so I wasn't even thinking about the fight. When she started fainting, my wife was with me. We get in the hospital, get this straight, find out what's going on. Marty had called and I told him where I was, and I said, I'll get back to it. I didn't see until today the fight itself.
Okay.
But everything that I said would happen if Bud was to win happened.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that we don't always look at is we don't look at how Bud bends you to his will, because he made Canelo do what he wanted him to do when he wanted him to do it. When he wanted to fight, he fought. When he didn't, he didn't. Canelo followed him, this is my opinion, the entire fight.
Mm-hmm.
I said he would outbox Canelo because that's basically Canelo's Achilles heel. He cannot deal with a great boxer. He never has, because he doesn't really like to box. He likes to fight. He got frustrated earlier than usual, and that was the first tell that he was already frustrated within the first few rounds. Then he got outclassed. He got outsmarted, and he got outpunched. I think any thoughts that Bud can't punch at that weight, I think that particular point of view has been debunked now. I think that anything that can't be fast at 168, he's proven everything that people had believed that he couldn't. And it goes back to looking at the Madrimov fight when people were saying he can't punch. He actually had concussed Madrimov. I just found that out Thursday. He was at the hospital for observation. But because Bud, this is the one time I can say in that fight with Madrimov, we didn't see what we should have saw because Bud got reckless and he was undisciplined most of that fight. This fight, you saw everything that Bud actually is as a boxer, as a fighter, as an athlete. You saw it all in one package. There was absolutely nothing that he didn't do well. He might have even been able to knock Canelo out, but he was disciplined enough to do exactly what he had planned to do, and he did it well. I thought it was a master class, in my opinion, of boxing. I think all of those who said that Bud fans would be crying, saying that to Tony, my man, uh, for Sin Ironheart, who can't stand Bud, period. I don't care what he does. I would say this to Sin. Bud didn't just walk on water, he swam and he parted the water in this fight. And I say that's not, to be gloating, because I had said what he would have to do in order to win. And I didn't see anything that he didn't do. And I think it bears to mention that for this era, Bud is at the top of the food chain. And I don't know why I've been seeing just the last few minutes, because I just got on, little comments from different, people, not on this platform, um, that sort of wants to downplay that. You can't downplay this particular fight. He was accused of avoiding all the smoke at 154, yet he went up to 168 to fight the Inferno. Is anybody thinking about who was saying that, understanding that he bypassed smoke to go into real fire? I mean, that's the way you have to look at that. So kudos to that. I'm not here to gloat. I'm happy that my people are good, because I was really worried. I was really, 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 really worried. But we're good now.
All right.
Still have to follow up, and now that we're back home, and do all of that. But I wish that we could have seen that, because I would have loved to have been able to cheer with all those who were there watching, and it was a nice atmosphere. To be quite honest, it was a very nice atmosphere out there. I didn't see any of what I thought was going to go wrong in terms of being dull. It was really a nice, good, upbeat atmosphere. So I don't know who came on your show last night, because, like I said, I wasn't on last night, but I can just imagine that you had a lot of talk last night. I have to go
Oh
back.
yeah, we had a fight party, so we watched it live together.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how I saw the fight. Once again, I don't know what he's going to do next. Doesn't matter. He did what he said he couldn't do. You got a fighter who has positioned himself in the way that he has, in spite of how many times he's been criticized, and some criticisms are warranted, but he's been criticized, talked down to. But you got to look back at what he's actually done in spite of that. He asked for what he wanted. He demanded what he wanted. He got what he wanted, and he did what he was going to say every single time. And some people are offended that he's done that, and that's too bad for them. But closed mouths don't get fed. So he fed himself. He got what he wanted, and he showed you all he's everything that he's ever said he was. So we'll have to wait and see, I think, until if he fights again to the next fight. Where would it be at? Would he go down to 160? Would he go to 175? I don't know. But wherever he decides to do, I don't think nobody should ever again bet. You can not like him, but you should never, ever again bet against him, period, because you will lose your money. So I'll say that. And I think is Sin Ironheart on tonight? 2 Cent. Hello.
What you say, Mr. Greg?
I said is Sin Ironheart. Is he on right now?
You right here.
Yeah. I was waiting for him. He ain't showed me that yet, Mr. Greg. I was so hoping he was here. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Boxing Hacker on the panel.
Salute to Seth.
Boxing Hacker.
What I say.
Who's that? Boxing Hacker?
It's 7 o'clock, so we gotta wrap it up. What you got, Boxing Hacker?
Hey, check it out. Look, I've been saying from day one, Lowe's got beat Canelo. I've been saying it. Had to argue with Tony Reviews. Tony Reviews swore up and down that Canelo's gonna beat Bud's brains out. Of course, that didn't happen. I was the only one saying that Bud didn't pack on 20 pounds of muscle. He just didn't cut as much. And as y'all saw yesterday, where was those 20 pounds of muscle that the people claimed that he gained? Wasn't there.
He definitely
He definitely just didn't cut as much weight. And I even told you 2 Cent during those later rounds, Bud was not playing with Canelo, because that's what Bud does. That's what he does with hard fighters. Once he figures them out, he starts to play with them, because one, he knows it annoys them. Two, I think he just does it just to let them know what time it is. And that's exactly what happened in that fight. I mean, at the end of the day, what I've been saying, like, stylistically, people kept comparing Canelo to Madrimov. Stylistically, Madrimov's style will always be harder for Bud than Canelo's style. It's not to say that Madrimov is a better fighter than Canelo, but styles make fights in boxing, and that style is it's harder to master the range against that style. And that's what people are missing. And also, when it comes to this whole thing about, I keep saying it, in boxing, it's not always about the bigger fighter, the stronger punch. It's just about skills pays the bills. So shouts out to Bud. I hope he retires, because there's nothing else for him to do in boxing but lose. So I really hope the brother retires and enjoys his money. I don't think he should fight Boots. Boots is just a sparring partner. You already beat Canelo, so you need to fight Canelo's sparring partner. So I think you can skip that. Memphis is just too damn big. So yeah, I think for Bud Crawford, I think he should retire while he's still on top, and then just enjoy his money and his spoils. But yeah, salute to the panel chat.
All right, thank you, Boxing Hacker, for coming up, giving your 2 cents. Big Dog Willie, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Man, I'm good. I just gotta say thank you for having letting me on your platform. Salute to everybody on the panel. We watched a great fight yesterday, and a great has been born. I would say he's up there. He's up there. He's in my top 20 now, so he's up there. Canelo kind of fell out graces with me, but it wasn't. I think it's not the skill, not what he did. It was just his attitude in the ring. And I don't like that shit. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like what Charlo did, but Charlo did worse. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Everybody on the panel, have a good week.
Hey, all right, Big Dog Willie. What's up, Mr. Greg?
Did you see? Did anybody see Inouye's fight?
No, I didn't see it. I gotta watch it. I gotta find it.
Did you see it, Tony?
He won, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody see it, but yeah,
What's your final 2 cents, Mr. Greg? What you got?
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I have to again. I want to whoever I don't remember everybody who left a little message. I want to say thank you for doing that. She's doing well. I'm happy. I'm feeling a lot better. So I want to say thank you to all whoever Marty and anybody else who left a little message for me.
Thank you, Mr. Greg. I was like, man, Mr. Greg must be having a good time. He ain't called in or nothing because I was waiting to get the video and all.
Yeah. I'm sorry that happened, but life will come to you in ways you don't expect sometimes.
I'm glad everything is better though. It's better, right?
Yes. I mean, there's going to be some issues, but the hard part is already over. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I like I said, I'll go back and I'll watch. I didn't see the undercard fight, but I will go and I did see the fight, and I just smiled in appreciation of seeing the work that was put in. And like I said, I wish I could have been able to been there yesterday when you all, and I would have sent some messages back and sent some videos back and all that kind of stuff. Now, are you done for today, or are you going to be back on later on tonight?
No, that's it. I do 5 to 7 today. I'll be back on Tuesday night at 10:30.
Okay, all right. Well, I try to definitely get on at 2:30. 10:30. So you're gonna change the time from 11 to 10:30?
No, it's always 10:30 on Tuesday nights after dark.
Okay, yeah. See, it's different here.
We might be in a different time zone.
Yeah, time zone is different up here. Yeah, I'll definitely get on that as well. But yeah, check out if you can find the interway fight, because I'm gonna try to see if I can find it, see how that fight went. But yeah, I'll definitely be always. I probably will be more talkative and have some more to say Tuesday.
All right.
Good night.
All right. I'm glad everything working out for you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. On the reviews, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
First off, I want to say my prayers go out to Mr. Greg. Hope everything works out. I'll be praying for you tonight, that your wife comes through it all without any issues. To double back to what Mr. Greg said about Bud walking on water, my opinion is this: not only did Bud walk on water, but he swam through clouds, he walked through mountains, he hovered through tunnels. The man turned ice into fire and fire into water. Like, this dude did everything last night, and it was crazy. So like I said, all I can do is get the dude his flowers. And in my opinion, I know you disagree 2 cents, but I believe he just solidified himself as an ATG. I don't know, man. Like, especially if he continues his career, you got to put him in there. Like, I'm saying he's a top 10 ATG, and that's just how I feel off of it. But y'all have a good night. Thanks for letting me on, like always.
All right, shout out Tony Reviews. We got Big Supreme on the panel. What up, Big Supreme?
What's the word? Man.
What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I didn't even know you was ending. I thought you was like in the middle of the live or something.
We 5 to 7 is Sunday. Come on, how long we been doing this? I'm 5 to 7 on Sundays.
I ain't gonna lie. I haven't been around for a little minute.
I know. So what's your thoughts? What you got for the show?
All right, so one, I actually kind of agree with Tony's reviews. Like, realistically, right, with his accomplishments and achievements, right? When you look at the first male to be 2-time undisputed, then the first male to be 3-time undisputed, 4-division champion, unified on like three different divisions. Like, where do you put him at realistically? Yeah, I get the resume talk, but that could probably be a product of the era. When you look at Anthony Joshua, right? When he was coming up, like, the era was kind of weak. Like, he had Klitschko, he had Fury, but they never fought each other. Dillian White, Chisora, like, the era wasn't really that good. So with Crawford, besides, the Spence and Thurman and Danny Garcia, like, that's the product of, like, promotional companies not willing to work with each other. So it's like, realistically, where do you put him at? Like, I'm not saying you gotta put him top 5, but he has to be like top 15 at least. Maybe even top 10. Like, who else has the kind of achievements that he got right now? Like, he's done something that nobody in the history of the sport has done. Now, if you want to be a historian, like Mr. Greg, you would know that Henry Armstrong was a 3-time undisputed champion, right? But there was only like 2 belts at that time. And I think it was a little bit harder because there wasn't like the tweener divisions, meaning like there wasn't a 140, there wasn't a 130. So he went from 126, then jumped to 135, and then from 135 he jumped up to 147. He also went up to middleweight and actually beat the guy, but you know, racism back then, I think they gave him like a draw or something like that. Or it was like a no contest, but he would have been a 4-time undisputed champion back then. But other than that, like Crawford has done something that nobody in the sport has been able to do. The only issue I got with Crawford is he never really defended undisputed. I watched the Anyway fight this morning, and Anyway was very cautious in the fight and went the distance. I know a lot of people thought he probably knocked MJ out, but MJ's heavy-handed, he's strong, and I think Anyway knew to respect him. So you know, he boxed, he moved around, but even in that, Anyway literally cleared out the division. There's nobody left Anyway to fight. Like the last person that people thought had a chance to beat Anyway was MJ. Once he did that, it's like who else is there left for him to fight? And this is like his 7th undisputed title defense. So when you look at someone like Usyk, someone like Anyway, even someone like Canelo, who for some reason everybody think is trash, like these guys defended their undisputed titles 4 or 5 times. That's the only issue I have with Crawford. Other than that, nobody's done what he's been able to do. Now people could say it's timing, people could say he's cherry picking, but he's 30 years old. So even if he waited for the right opportunity to fight certain people, you know how boxing is, it's unforgiving. So like, who's to say he wouldn't have got old overnight? He could have got in a ring with Canelo and just felt old and got knocked out. But the fact that he's still performing at a peak high level for an athlete, I think is commendable. Now, we all got our gripes with him, you know what I mean? The gloves, his attitude, business tactics. But if you take all of that, like, you have a great fighter. Like, if we never knew about his business.
If you take all away
Say it again?
If you take away all of that.
Nah, I'm
but
saying.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying. And,
yeah,
and let me ask you this. Do you think that the focus on the accolades is due to this era just not being as competitive as previous eras? Because I get people's argument with that, like, okay, I got my 2 cents about it, but if you do feel like, you know, oh, he's one of the greats because he got these accolades, I could see that, because what else are we measuring by?
You can't, because, all right, so this is the thing, right? This era is like, whether you want to blame Al Heyman, you want to blame Bob Arum, whoever you want to blame, right? For some reason, the greats in this era didn't really fight each other. So that's not Crawford's fault. But then look at Tank. Tank has not fought people that people wanted him to fight. You look at Shakur. There's certain fights that we wanted for him. Haney, Lomachenko, like everybody has a fight that we wanted our favorites to have, but because of politics.
You went away, Supreme. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, I got a phone call. But yeah, so like we can't blame Crawford for that. Like he did the best he could do. Yeah, it would have been good to see him fight a Fundora, fight a Keith Thurman, fight a Danny Garcia, fight Porter in his prime, but for some reason boxing politics prevented that from happening. Now I feel like Crawford's talent doesn't supersede that. So it's like we just got to judge him by his accomplishments, his accolades, and what he's been able to do. So when you just look at it like that, you just have a great fighter. That's it. So now my thing is, we got a lot of fighters on Snack, right? We got a lot of fighters with the content. 1 second, 2 cents. I'm getting to it.
If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to drop some flowers in the comment section to give Terence T. Bud Crawford his flowers. I don't want nobody running around these YouTube streets crying, talking about I ain't give him his flowers and this and that. I definitely did. But like I said before the fight, I mean, I understand people's perspective about Bud, but I still got my own. That's what it's going to be. So all y'all running around attacking folks over their opinions, y'all gotta relax. That shit.
Yeah, that's corny. Because in the AM, live, I was trying to give Crawford his flowers, and that wasn't enough. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with these niggas, man? Like,
Wasn't they tripping over there? They was tripping.
yeah, I'm like, nigga, what the fuck you want me to do? Like, I ain't getting on my knees like you, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? But what I'm saying is, you look at like Haney, right? That man been on snack.
They want you over there like.
Yeah, we not butt bouncing, man. Like, I'm gonna give him his flowers. Another thing too, right? I forgot the guy's name. Something for boxing. Like, this is my thing, right? When you look at boxing and its history, right? The good big guy has always beat the good little guy. So this applies to this fight as well, right? So he said, oh, well, Crawford is not that small. He's not really a little guy. Something like that negates your point then. So to me, that means that Crawford has been fighting for an advantage for probably 70% of his career. The fact Andre Ward said that he walks around 186, but then boils down to 147 and rehydrates up to 160 something, that's a huge advantage. And I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed. But everybody in this era apparently does that, whether it's Haney, whether it's Benavidez, and whoever else. Like, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. So I'm just saying, like, all the fighters that's been on snack, from Benavidez to Haney to Shakur, Crawford has somehow been the only person to achieve what he's been able to do. So that in itself tells me that he's a special fighter. So I'm going to tip my hat to him. And I still got my jokes. I'm still going to say the nigga can't sell out no shows and nothing like that. Sell out no arenas because he needed Canelo's help. But other than that, like, I'm going to tip my hat and say that he did something that nobody's been able to do. And as a black man, I commend him for that. Same way you as a black woman commend Clarissa Shields, I got to do the same. Yeah, I keep getting phone calls, man. But you know what I'm doing. But
All right, Big Supreme.
They sponsors to call me right back after I hang with the phone. They're probably gonna call again. But shout out to everybody. Man, I'm about to block this man. Called me 3 times in a row. But my 4-2 cents, she's ODing. But let me just finish my last little statement. But yeah, I really thought Canelo was gonna win, and I'm kind of upset with Canelo because I lost a bet with the homies. They faked me, clowning me. I gotta give him $100. He's like, yo, what happened? You said you was gonna do. I'm like, damn, this thing got me. But RP to Ricky Hatton, that was shocking. I didn't even know, like, how did he die? You know how he died?
I don't know. They just said they found him in his house. That's what I know. Wasn't he about to come back?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just was training. So I'm like, I didn't. Did he have a sickness or something like that?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out more about it.
Like that, because it seemed like it came out of nowhere. But yeah, shout out to Crawford though, man. Like, and it's crazy because Victor Conte, right? He has Haney, he has Clarissa, he has Bud. Who else been undisputed that was on snack?
He got Bam. I don't know.
I think Bam might become undisputed. I'm not gonna lie. I think he might be the next undisputed under snack because there's nobody there really that's gonna beat him. I'm not gonna lie until he moves up. But yeah, man. Like, shout out to Canelo. I think Canelo's still a great fighter. I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. I just feel like his heart not in the sport no more. He made a lot of money. I see people say that he looked like he was shot. But I don't even want to do that because it kind of like dims Buzz win a little bit. Like the dude has like 68 fights. You got to think that's 68 different training camps. About 70 damn man. Because he got 2 draws, 66 wins, and now 3 losses. So that's like 70. So he has 70-some fights, 70-some training camps, a bunch of sparring wars. He's been fighting since he was 15. He's made way more than he probably imagined he would make. Over $400 million in boxing. He has investments, like Floyd would say. Like, so he did what he had to do. I feel like Canelo should be commended because he didn't have to take this fight. He really didn't have to. Like, he took this fight knowing that Turkey was in love with Bud and they hold hands, and you know what I mean? So the judges was not going to be in his favor. And he had to knock Bud out. And that brings up another thing about the punch resistance. I give him credit for that because Conte must have gave him that top shelf because I'm like, how the fuck is he eating these punches from Canelo? But shout out to him, no hate. I would like to see him fight Lara, Charlo, or maybe Boots. And I just don't like that people say that Boots don't deserve a shot because Canelo didn't have to give him a shot. Canelo took a chance making some dude come up 21 pounds at 30 years old. And it's kind of like fucked up that if he would have beat Bud last night, he wouldn't have got no credit. But since Bud beat him, he's the greatest of all time. Canelo was always overrated, blah, blah, blah. So I hope he got paid a hefty bag for that. Hopefully he retires and fall back. Shout out to everybody. And I got to go, so.
All right, shout out Big Supreme on the panel. No Cat, where you go? I was gonna let you get you a little 60-second thing in. I know you excited. But shout out to everybody that joining me on for the show today, the Sunday wrap-up show. Give Bud his flowers show. Everybody was able to call in to give Bud his flowers. Congratulations to Bud. I need to eat my crow. I did think he had a shot to win the fight, but I thought that I just thought the power was going to be too much. Thought Canelo was going to be able to catch him and get to him, be able to catch him with something, hurt him bad, knock him out, something of that nature. But Terence Bud Crawford put on a master class. Him and his team came up with the best game plan, and it was executed perfectly. Shout out to Terence Crawford. I'm not going to be doing this every single show, so if you don't hear me saying this, oh well, yo bad. But no, seriously. Shout out and congratulations to all the Bud Johnson bouncers in the chat. You got you one. I hope everybody hit their bets and made their money. Join me again Sunday, 10:30 p.m. for 2 cents after dark. If you're listening to the replay of this live and you've made it to the end, put some flowers in the comment sections for Terence T. Bud Crawford. Raymond Sifu says, you is very professional this show, 2 cents. What you saying? I need some new AI pictures, 2 cents. Good ones that are respectful. My pictures are respectful. What you mean? The man walking on water. What is you talking about? That was the man walked on water last night. He went in there and schooled Canelo Alvarez. How is not respectful? Come on now. Y'all gotta cut it out. But you know how it is. As soon as you do something, everybody gonna be like, what's next? So a lot of people are wondering what's next for Terence T. Bud Crawford. We don't know. We shall see. I hear a lot of his fans calling for him to retire because they just don't want to see him lose. Because they say the only thing he got left to do is lose. So Terence Crawford, should he retire and just roll off into the sunset? Let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Oh, let's see him move forward and continue to challenge himself. Now they say he shouldn't fight unless he finna get 100 mil. But we'll see what it is, though. But shout out to Terence Crawford. Congratulations on his win. I'm not about to start Johnson bouncing, but he did have a great fight. Do have him in my top 5, top 10 greatest fighter of all time. If I'm going by accolades, I could see how you could give him that. But if I'm going by resume and a different type of criteria, I'm going to have to go with not on my list. But you're welcome to have him on yours. But listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out the chat, kicking you off the panel, leaving you in the background, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.